Hey, what up, Closer Nation? Oh, maybe I'll just leave the hood on a little bit here. What's up, everybody? Hey, you know what? I've got an important lesson for you before I go into the gym today that I'm going to share with you. And sometimes life gives us lessons in like the weirdest spots, right? I got, in case you don't know, I have a 5-year-old and a 4-year-old, and then I have one that's about to be born within the next 6 weeks or so. It's pretty crazy, right? But anyway, I was with my 5-year-old takes karate, and so is my 4-year-old. Well, the 5-year-old was bumped up into the 6 and 7-year-old class, right? He's an excellent student, right? Imagine that. Like, not like his dad. I was not a good student. Anyway, so he's doing well in karate, he gets bumped up. Well, so they're trying to teach the quote-unquote older kids like life lessons. And so they were teaching him yesterday how to punch, and he said, and the sensei of the karate class, whatever you call him, right? The sensei, he says, you know, whoever has the best accuracy gets a stripe on their belt. Like, one of their rewards is that they don't just get like white, yellow, green, and all that stuff belts. They also get stripes for doing certain things. So it's like it's a seniority thing that they play in there. Well, when he was explaining to a couple of the kids, what was happening was one or two of the kids, you know, they're just kind of like, just punch, whatever, right? Just kind of going through the motions in life and going through the motions in class. And he says, well, let me tell you guys something. This is like brilliant, right? And he says, you ever hear the saying, practice makes perfect? And all the kids were like, yeah. And he's like, well, listen, that's not true. Because if you practice like, nah, you're just like doing your thing and swinging your hand, you know, slump down and everything else. If you practice like that, you'll never be perfect. You see, perfect practice makes perfect, or really the pursuit of perfect practice makes perfect. And I thought about that. I was like, a lot of people are out there just practicing, right? I've done it for years too. You're out there and you're just practicing with life, right? It's like you're just going through and you think, oh, it's just practice. I remember when I played sports as a young man, there would be people on the team that they would say, practice like you play, right? Practice like you're gonna play. Well, what happens is they would end up playing like they practice if they didn't practice like they play. So yesterday when the sensei was going over, he's like, you know, if you just like going through life and throwing bunches, you'll never get perfect. And a lot of people think, hey, as long as I keep practicing, eventually I'll become perfect. And that's not true. It's the pursuit of perfection through your practice that will make things perfect. And most of us, let's just be real, most of us go through life and we're just like practicing, right? We're waiting on our big break, waiting on somebody to put us together, someone to notice us, someone to take us up on our offer. We're just practicing. But meanwhile, those that step out there and they practice like they play, they get out there and they play hard every day. Like, look, you guys have seen me up at 5:30 in the morning, 7 days a week for God knows how many years now, probably the last 20, at least the last 11 to 12 years that I have been getting up at 5:30 and hustling every day, because you know what? I'm practicing every day, but I'm ready to play, right? I'm practicing as if I'm playing every day, so then when it comes time for me to play, it's not as if I'm practicing, right? There's a big difference, because if you get elected, you get selected, and you get ready to go play in the quote-unquote big leagues, and then you're out there playing the same as you practice, it's probably not going to be a good shot for you. But if you're out there practicing the same as if you were playing, you're going to win. So something to think about. Sometimes life's lessons comes from the most simplest places, right? Some kids, some toddlers, sensei, and the guy was just trying to teach the toddlers a lesson. It's like, hey, listen, if you do anything in the pursuit of perfection, you will eventually find it. Now that's the real phrase.